Hi, this is Joanne Hewins from LoveToCreate.typepad.com. Today I'm going to make this card with you. It's part of my entry into the Connie and Mary Thursday challenge. And our challenge was to use Real Red, Mossy Meadow, and Pear Pizzazz. I found that this paper, let me pull it out. This is called the Heartwarming Hugs paper. And I found that this paper had those colors in it and decided to try this card. What is that? This card using the tailored tag punch. So I thought I would show you real quick how to make this. It's not a hard card at all. And what I'm going to do is pull out some pieces of this paper, and I can use both sides, but pick out some pieces that have those colors in them. Okay, this might be better. This would work. This would work. And I was really trying to use some of the pieces I had that maybe were not full sheets, although this, oh, that's the check. Okay, I've got a smaller sheet of that. So I'm going to start with these. Now I can use the front and the back, and I'm just going to start punching. So let's see, I don't think I have another one of these out. So I'm just going to punch a bunch. That's a rhyming word. And I am going to try to pay attention to the sides here and make sure that I punch it straight. Other than that, I don't have a rhyme or reason for it. And I can use the back of this, so I think I'm going to go ahead and punch a couple more, and I'm just going to tear that off, and I'll get one right down in here and over here, and then I'll get start with another sheet of paper. This one is one I've already punched on, so I'll get a couple out of this. Hard to tell if I'm doing it straight on that or not, but we'll do our best. And we can use the back of this, so I'm going to go ahead and get one more out of this paper. Okay. And we can use this. So I'm just going to punch some this way. And because I might use the back of this, I might want some stripes that go across and then some stripes that go up and down. So I'm just going to do like that. Get some out of this one. Okay, we don't have this yet. So let me punch. That doesn't want to go down in that punch. We just go on the side here. And again, I might want to have some of these with the stripes going the other way. So let me just do a couple more here. And then we'll do some out of this paper. And we can use the back of this as well. So And I could have punched out all of this before we got started, and probably should have. I just don't know why I didn't. Let's go with this, and we'll start doing our gluing. So I'm going to pull in a piece of thick Whisper White. This has been cut at 4 1/4 by 11. I've scored it, I don't know if you can see that, at 5 1/2. And I'm just going to bend that back and use my bone folder to burnish my edge. So let's get started with our gluing. And I'm going to pick up 2, and I don't have to make it look just like this one, so I'm going to pick up 2 different pieces. And I'm going to put them down here near the bottom. And I'm going to put them about equidistant from each side and from here. And hopefully that will help me to get that straight on the card. So let me glue. And I'm just going to have to glue these one at a time, trying to make sure and get it straight over here on the end. Okay, and I am going to leave a little bit of space between pieces. Okay, now I want to go ahead and fill in the bottom here. So I'm just going to glue on the top of this because it only goes so far. So let me put that down. And again, I'm leaving just a little bit of space. And then we'll go ahead and work on these areas. Now, if I get too much glue, which I did right there, I'll just kind of wipe it off for now, and then I'll go back later with one of these rubber brush things and get the extra glue off. Okay, and probably we need something with some color here, so I'll do this. Now that looks a little wacky, doesn't it? So what I'm going to do is remember that I can use some of these pieces down here for the bottom, or not the bottom, but for part of the rest of the card. So I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to clip these pieces right along the edge here. And then I have them to use at other places. Probably not going to need something like that, but some of these other pieces, it just might come in handy. Okay, so now I'm just going to glue and fill in all the way to the top. And I'll just put pieces that I think would look good together. Now, I think I could use this piece here. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue there and add that one. Okay, and actually I might be able to use this piece on the other side. And I could have glued it so that I didn't have these same designs. I could have glued it on this side and turned it over and had this design, but I've got a little bit of that there. So, okay, and I'm going to go ahead and trim that. Wouldn't have to. Probably not going to need pieces this size somewhere else, but we'll go ahead. And you can see how it's just going to work in the rest of the way up the card. So let me, I don't know how to do the fancy thing where I speed up and do it real fast, so just be patient with me. And we'll go ahead and glue the pieces. And maybe it won't take too long. Okay, so I probably should have used something different because I've got that pattern right there. I was trying to keep it from over here, just working on some of that, but it really isn't going to matter a lot. And now we're getting ready to get up here at the top. Let's see, I think I'm going to use this red stripe here. Oh, and that covered up that corner pretty well. And then we'll do this one over here. And it's ended up that we have just a tiny bit of a piece right there. And I am going to go ahead and put a little glue there and just set that there. You hold that one just a little bit so it'll stick. And then we'll turn the rest of this over and click it here. Okay, so that gives you an idea of how to piece that together. Let me take these pieces over here, and that pretty much covers it very well. Now let me show you that on the inside of this card I did a bottom row. So I'm not going to do that with you now since you just watched me do the front part. I think you know what to do. So we'll go ahead and finish this. So I'm going to just slide these that I didn't use. They'll go on the inside. Slide that out of the way. And I'll talk to you about the saying. I'm stuck to my hand. So I'm using for this an old stamp set that's in the annual catalog. It carried over from last year called Perfectly Plaid. And I'm going to be using this saying right here, Merry Christmas. And I want to make sure that my sentiment is really dark and pretty. See how pretty that looks on there? So I'm going to use the Stamparatus to help me with that. So I'm going to pull that in, and I'm just going to put this stamp set over here so that it will hold this Stamparatus face flat. I'm going to put in a piece of paper. I'm hoping I can get that into my punch later. And I'm just going to put this in the middle of that. Pick it up. And we're going to hope that we can get this stamped in the same place. I do have an extra piece over here in case I mess up. But we left it. Oh, that's pretty dark as it is. I must have re-inked that after I made this card. So let me just do that. And I think that's all we need to do. I think that looks nice. Okay, so I'm going to take that out of the way, bring in my tailored tag punch, and I'm just going to hold it in here and get that in there as good as I can. Okay, and then we are using 2 ribbons on this card. One of them is the real red braided linen trim, and the other one is in the upcoming catalog that's coming soon, and it's the Mossy Meadow braided linen trim. So we're going to be using both of these, and I'm going to want them to go around the card and to tie in a knot. So I'm just going to measure it like that. I think I decided it was about 16 inches, but I'm not exactly sure. And I want to make sure that it's laying flat in there. And I'm just going to bring it around and tie that in a knot. So let me kind of hold it down with my little finger. And of course on camera, may not do my best, but that's okay. And so I probably got a little bit more than I needed. I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back of this saying, and actually I'm going to change that and put them at the top and at the bottom. Sorry about that, and maybe I'll put a new one there. If I can get that off my finger. And the reason that I'm doing that is because I want there to be room for the saying to go over the braided trim. So I'm going to put that, hopefully, kind of in the middle. Maybe not quite. I'm going to put that there. And then I'm going to trim the ends of my braid or my ribbon about there. And then the only thing that I have left to do is to add in the red rhinestones. So let me bring those in. These are just wonderful and so easy to use, and there's lots in a pack. I've used them quite a bit, and love them. So I'm just going to add some to the saying here. And then I decided that I really needed them in other places. That looks fine, but I just decided, hey, I've got them, why not use them? So I went ahead and put some at different places over the card. And there you go. I think maybe I'll put one over in there. It might not show up as much, but there you go. That's all there is to it. And I'll show you again, the inside was just some more of the tailored tag punch and the designer series paper. So just some more of these. So that's a real easy and simple card, and a great way to use up some of your paper that you might have left over. Again, I'm Joanne Hewins. This is my blog. If you want to get to my online store, you can reach that from my blog. And I appreciate your time today. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.